All right, here goes. Here's a two-set Venn diagram problem. The first thing you may notice on this page before we start talking about the problem is you see these numbers over here, 30, 12, 17, and 9. You'll remember back on Monday, we would have called these region 1, region 2, region 3, and region 4, and we would have used Roman numerals for that. The reason we use Roman numerals to name the regions is because of what we're going to do today. Now, these numbers, they aren't names for those regions. What those numbers are is they tell us how many people are within each region. So region 1 has 30 people in it. Region 2 has 12. Region 3 has 17, and region 4 has 9. That's what those numbers mean for us now, and that's why we use Roman numerals to name the regions. All right, let's see what's going on in this problem. A survey of students in 3 homeroom classes was taken to determine the number of students who were in band and the number of students who were taking foreign language. So right there we can see we have two sets. We have band and we have foreign language. And this is our band circle and this is our foreign language circle. So we have those two sets. And the way that this is created, there is a box around there to frame in the universal set. It's easier to put that in after the fact. So there's our band and foreign language sets. And we're asked one question here. How many students are in the band? What's your instinct? How many students are in band? And I'm not going to do a poll. I'm just kind of asking. We're just talking now. How many students are in band? Stephen, Joanne, Sean with 42s. I like the 42. I think that's excellent. Don't overthink it. This is the band circle. Anybody that's inside that circle is taking band. Careful, Alondra. Anybody inside the band circle is in the band. So we have a total of 30 plus 12. We have 42 people that are in the band. Here's a question that leans into intersection and union when it says, how many are taking foreign language or are in the band? So how many are taking foreign language or are in the band? What does or mean? What does or have us do here? Well, Stephen's quick. Great. Very good. I'm not guaranteeing he's right, but I like the confidence very much. Very good, Joanne. You're exactly right. What we're looking for when it says or is we're looking for the union. So while in the first one, that one was pretty straightforward. How many are in the band? That's just the set B. This time, how many are taking foreign language or are in band? So we're looking for the union of those two sets. If we were going to shade them, it would be all of this. And so when we go to count up how many people are taking foreign language or are in the band, we want to add these three numbers right here, 30 plus 12 plus 17. And let's see, that's 42 and 17. Stephen was right, Sergio is right. 59 are taking foreign language or are in the band. And then the last question here says, how many are taking foreign language but are not in the band? And okay, we realized on Monday that but is kind of the same thing as and. We're going to treat that like and. You don't have to write this down in notation, but if you want to, you can. So this is foreign language and not in band, so that's B complement. You don't have to write it out this way, but if you're really good at shading, that might help you determine what it is that you're going to count. So how many are taking foreign language but are not in the band? Sergio has 17 with not a ton of confidence, but quick. A bunch of 17s coming in. Joanna, Madison, Leah, great. You're exactly right. Foreign language, but not in band. Good, Katrina. So here's foreign language. That would be everybody in this circle. If we just said foreign language, we'd add those up and get, what, 29? but it said foreign language and not in the band. So we don't want to count anybody that's in the band. And what that leaves us with is these 17 right here, region 3, if you want to say it that way. How many have taken foreign language but are not in the band? 17 of them. You sure were, Sergio. You got it exactly right. Any questions on how we use that Venn diagram to answer these questions? Outstanding. Now we're going to increase the degree of difficulty a little bit. 50 tables at a restaurant placed orders. 13 ordered appetizers, 41 ordered dinner, and 8 ordered an appetizer and dinner. Draw the Venn diagram for this situation. Last time we were given the Venn diagram. Here it is. Now use it to answer questions. Taking that a step forward, now we're going to draw the Venn diagram, and after that, we're going to fill the numbers in, and then we're going to use it to answer questions. So here's the way you want to approach this. First, figure out what your sets are. 50 tables placed orders. We have appetizers and dinner, and that's it. Those are the only things mentioned. So I'm going to have a appetizers circle. I'm going to have a dinner circle. And so there is my Venn diagram with no numbers. Then we're going to work on filling in the numbers. And the key here, the thing that is most important, is that you start in the intersection. The reason for that is if you don't start in the intersection, you'll wind up counting things twice, and we don't want to do that. So we're going to start in the intersection. Generally, the way that your problems are going to be written, that means you're going to start at the end of what you've been given. So 8 of the tables ordered an appetizer and dinner. Appetizer and dinner. That's the overlap of the two sets. That's right here in region 2. And so that's where we're going to put those 8 tables, right there in region 2. If I do something that doesn't make sense, you're not sure where it came from, please make sure you ask. I think this is a process that you will probably feel really comfortable with by the time we finish class today, but you might not be there yet. And so ask whatever you want to ask as far as that goes. Then we back up a little bit, and it says, okay, well, 41 of the tables ordered dinner. Here's the danger part that you do not want to do. You do not want to throw 41 over here. Oops. Well, you definitely don't want it there. You don't want to put 41 over here in region 3. Why is that no good? Excellent, Stephen. I know exactly what you mean. Eight are already accounted for. That's perfect, Laura. You're exactly right. The reason we start in the intersection is we don't want to count things twice. When I look at the circle for dinner over here, there's the circle for dinner. Well, it already has 8 people in it. If I put 41 more in there, now that circle has 49. And according to my diagram, 49 people ordered dinner, and that's not right. So what I have to do is subtract. I already have 8 inside the D circle. The D circle here already has 8 in it. So I'm not going to add 41. I'm going to do, let's see, 41 minus 8, that's 33. Go over there in region 3. And now what I have is 8 ordered appetizer and dinner. Yep, that's what my diagram shows. 41 ordered dinner. So the dinner circle should have 41 in it, and sure enough, it does. The key is to start in the intersection. Same philosophy is going to apply with our appetizers. When we look at appetizers, it says 13 ordered appetizers. So how many people am I going to put over here in region 1? Excellent, Joanna, Laura, Madison, Katrina, perfect. Lee, 5. I need 13 in this circle, but I already have 8 in there. So I'm not going to put 13 in region 1. I'm going to put 5 in region 1. Now I have 13 tables that ordered appetizers and 8 that ordered both. Okay, there's one more region. I don't want to forget about what goes out here. We filled in everything in regions 1, 2, and 3. We don't want to forget about region 4. And so far, I have 5 plus 8 plus 33 of the tables on my diagram. 5 plus 8 plus 33, that's 46. Good, Laura. So I have 46 tables accounted for. I have 50 tables total. So there's 4 more tables that haven't been put anywhere on here. Great, Katrina, and they need to go out here in region 4. Maybe they ordered dessert or just coffee. Who knows? They didn't order an appetizer. They didn't order dinner, but they're in the restaurant, so they probably ordered something. We don't know what they ordered. We just know they didn't order an appetizer and they didn't order dinner. They're outside of those 2 sets. Are there any questions about what we did to come up with this diagram before I have you answer some questions about this diagram? Outstanding. The key, and I'll say this every time, is to start in the intersection. So there's our Venn diagram. Same situation, and my question to you that I'm going to make a poll for this one is, how many ordered only appetizers? The word only means the same thing here as it would in real life. And this will take me longer to type than it will for you to answer, but that's okay. So, how many ordered only appetizers? And while these are going to get a little more involved when we move on to 3 set Venn diagrams, the philosophy of today is this. We're going to have a situation, we're going to make a Venn diagram for it, and then we're going to use it to answer questions. Let's go another 20 seconds, and then we'll talk about this one. All right, let's see how we did. Okay, not unanimous, but really close to it. Very good. And I'll point out something about this one to clear up what might be an issue here. But this question says to us, how many ordered only appetizers? Meaning they ordered appetizers and nothing else. Well, if I look inside my appetizer circle, there's 13 people in there, but these 8, they also ordered dinner. I don't want to count them. I only want to count the 5 over here in region 1. So how many ordered only appetizers? That was just 5. If the word only wasn't in our question, if our question said, how many ordered appetizers? Then our answer would be 13. But because it says only appetizers, which means appetizers and nothing else, then it's just 5. That's okay, Will. It gives me a chance to talk about it. So that's a relatively common mistake to make. So it's perfect that somebody made it, so I had a chance to bring it up. This is our class time together is perfect for making mistakes, because then it brings up something that I get to sort of point out for everybody. Okay, I'll make a poll for this one too. How many ordered appetizers or dinner? A key here again is the word or and what it means. The word and the word or are those meanings are gonna remain consistent and important for us all the way through. We'll go another 20 seconds and then we'll talk about this one. All right, let's see how we did here. Okay, strong agreement. Not quite as strong as last time. So we'll make sure we talk about this one. I think I know what might have happened here. So it's a perfect thing for us to discuss. How many ordered appetizers or dinner? So that's appetizers or dinner. That's A joined with D, the union of those two sets. If we were going to shade it, it would be all of the A circle joined with all of the D circle. We add those together. So we're going to add up 5 plus 8 plus 33, and that's going to be 46 that ordered appetizers or dinner. Remember, or is if you're in A, we count you. If you're in D, we count you. Two things are potentially dangerous here. One of them is if you read this question as appetize or dinner, but not both, that would throw out these 8 and leave you with 38. But the question didn't say that. So don't put words there that aren't there. It didn't say but not both. Because remember, we use inclusive or. When we say or, both is okay. So if you're in A, good enough. If you're in D, good enough. If you happen to be in both, great. We'll keep you too. The other thing that's a little bit dangerous here is somebody might look at this question, and if you yes, Salia, exactly. If the word and was in here instead of or, then it would just be the 8 in region 2. That's exactly right. And a perfect question. I encourage those kinds of questions because well, what if it was this is the perfect question to ask when we're talking about union and intersection of sets. There is one other thing I want to mention. If you tried to draw this without a Venn, or answer this without drawing the Venn diagram, if you just said, well, appetizers or dinner, 13 ordered appetizers, 41 ordered dinner. So 13 appetizers, 41 dinner, that's 54. Well, it's not correct. And what you've done is you counted these 13, then you counted these 41. These 8 in the middle here, they've been counted twice. We don't want to do that. So draw the diagram. And once you have your diagram, then you can answer your questions in a much easier fashion. It'll avoid you counting something twice that you didn't want to. Let me know if you have questions on this before we move on. And in the same way that shading 3-set Venn diagrams was a little more complicated, doing problem solving with 3-circle Venn diagrams was a little more complicated. All right, here goes. It already looks complicated because the font's smaller and there's an awful lot of words up there. But we'll just read through it. 52 customers at a restaurant were surveyed. 33 of them had eggs, 26 had sausage, 23 had bacon. 17 had eggs and sausage, 18 had eggs and bacon, 15 had sausage and bacon, and 12 had all 3 things. We're not going to worry about answering those questions just yet. The first thing we're going to do is draw our diagram. And when we draw our Venn diagram here, we're going to have 3 sets. Let's see, eggs was first, sausage was next, bacon was last. And you don't have to put them in the same order as the problem, but I find it to be kind of helpful to just, all right, the problem says eggs, sausage, bacon, so that's how I'm going to draw my sets, eggs, sausage, bacon. And so there's my 3-circle Venn diagram. Now I need to start putting some numbers in here. And our main thing when we put numbers in the Venn diagram is to start in the intersection. And this time we have a whole bunch of intersections because E overlaps S and E overlaps B and S overlaps B. There's a whole bunch of intersections. As you might expect, we're going to start with region 5 right there in the middle. We're going to start with region 5 in the middle because that's where we have the overlap of all 3 sets. I lost my square here. Sorry about that. So we're going to start with the overlap of all 3 sets in the middle, and we just go back to the problem, and 12 had all 3 things. So I'm going to put 12 into region 5. If any of these numbers don't make sense as we go through this, please tell me. Okay, up next is just reading backwards through the problem because I want to do the intersections. I start in there, and then this says 15 had sausage and bacon. So first I have to find the overlap of sausage and bacon. Here's sausage, here's bacon. So where those 2 sets overlap is right here. That's the intersection of those 2 sets. So what that means is in this football-shaped thing down here, I need to have 15 people. I already have 12. Be careful. We're not just going to throw 15 in there because we already have 12. How many people am I going to put over here in region 6? Excellent, Laura. Katrina, very good. You're exactly right. If anybody doesn't understand why that's 3, now is the perfect time to ask. Good, Alondra. We're going to use this same philosophy as we keep working backwards through this problem. 18 had eggs and bacon. So I need to figure out, okay, eggs is here, bacon is down here. So where those 2 overlap are these 2 regions. So I need a total of 18 in those 2 regions. When I look at that football shape, currently it has 12 in there. I need 18 total. How many am I going to put into region 4? All right, Laura, Katrina, Joanna, very good. If anybody doesn't see where this 6 came from, make sure you ask about it. We're going to keep working our way backwards through the problem here. We're told that 17 had eggs and sausage. Eggs and sausage are going to overlap in this football-shaped region right there. We need a total of 17. How many are going to go in region 2? Yes, Joanna? That's right, Laura. 5 are going to go in region 2. What we don't want to do is throw 15, 12, 18 in those because we want to make sure that we're not counting anybody twice. And so that's why we start in the overlap. We start in the overlap of all 3 sets, then we do the overlaps of 2 sets, and now finally we'll go deal with the individual sets. And let's see, 23 had bacon. So what that means is I'm not just going to throw 23 in here. What it means is this circle, this bacon circle, needs to have 23 total inside it. Looks like so far we have what? 6 and 12 is 18, and 3, that's 21. So I only need 2 more to have 23 in my bacon circle. Let me know if any of the numbers don't make sense. Similar, 26 people had sausage. So that means in this sausage circle over here, there needs to be a total of 26 people. And so far, let's see, we have 12 and 5 is 17, and 3 more makes 20. So that means that there must be 6 people over here in region 3. And continuing to work backwards, 33 of them had eggs. So in this egg circle, I need 33 total. So far I have, let's see, 12 and 5 is 17, and 6 is 23. So I need 10 over here in region 1. 10 kind of looks like a 16. Let me fix it. All right, I've got all my regions filled in. Am I ready to start answering questions, or is there something else I still need to do? Very good, Laura. Out there in region 8, out here in region 8, there's going to be something. We better make sure we fill that in. And I look at there were 52 customers total. So now I want to go through and make sure I count up everybody. Let's see, that's 10 plus 5 plus 6 plus 6 plus 12 plus 3 plus 2. Looks like I have 44 so far on my diagram. So to get to 52, I'm going to have 8 people out here. And maybe they just had toast or coffee, or I don't know. They didn't have eggs, they didn't have sausage, they didn't have bacon. They had something else. Okay, Now we're ready to start answering some questions. And the first question we have is, how many had sausage or bacon? You don't have to write it this way, but if you find it helpful, you can. Sausage or bacon. Remember, or is union, so we're joining those together. How many had sausage or bacon? The only danger I really see here is make sure you don't count anything twice. Let's see how many we come up with. Okay, we've got 11, 34, a question mark 34, another 34. So 34 seems to be coming in on the regular here. Another 11. 20 and 34. Let's talk about this one. Let's be careful here. I can see the 11, 20 I'm going to have to work on. But if we look at this and we say, okay, this is sausage or bacon, that's S union B. That's S joined with B. So if I was going to shade, I would shade all those. So those are the ones I want to count here. So if I want to count up all the people that had sausage or bacon, that's going to be 5 plus 6 plus 6 plus 12 plus 13, or excuse me, plus 3 plus 2. That's going to be our number. And we add 5 plus 6 plus 6 plus 12 plus 3 plus 2. Everybody in those two circles, we end up with 34. So that's very good that 34 was a real common answer there. Now let's see about addressing some of those things. If you said 11, what you might be thinking is just these people up here. Well, they had sausage but did not have bacon, which we don't want that here. They're inside the sausage circle, but they're outside the bacon circle. That would be sausage and not bacon. So we don't want the 11. I'm trying to add up to 20. I'm not seeing it. Lee, if you want to tell me what you did, or if you just see what you did incorrectly, that's good enough. I'm trying to see where the 20 might have come from. Okay. The main thing, Lee, is that it makes sense that if we are looking for sausage or bacon, then that's sausage joined with bacon. Anybody who had sausage, we want to count them. Anybody who had bacon, we want to count them. I see. So they had sausage and something else. So we have to be very careful about how we interpret the language in the question. That's important. Okay. The next one says, how many had eggs and bacon but did not have sausage? You don't have to write this way. Oh, why is the 5 included? It's on the egg with sausage. Celia, it's because anybody who had sausage, we count them. Some of them had eggs. Some of them didn't. That's okay. If they had sausage, we count them because that's how union works. Perfect. Perfect. So let's see, eggs and bacon. The word but, we're going to treat that like and did not have sausage. So did not have sausage. That would be S complement. So how many? And again, we're just talking here to see how many you come up with. They had eggs and bacon, but they did not have sausage. Okay, we've got 18s and 6s coming through on that one. Madison with a question mark. All right, let's see him. Let's see this one then. Those of you who are really good at shading might want to shade that, and then you'll know exactly where to count. I think for a lot of people, it works better the other way, is to go, okay, eggs and bacon. Well, where do eggs and bacon overlap? That's right here, these two regions, but did not have sausage. So anybody who has sausage, I need to throw them out. So if the question had said, how many had eggs and bacon? 18 is correct. But this says, also did not have sausage. What that means is I need to throw out anybody who had sausage because they're in the sausage circle. I can't count them. And then we wind up with just the 6 that are in region 4. So eggs and bacon, but not sausage. The way we count that up is we go, all right, well, eggs and bacon would be these, but not sausage, so I throw them out, leaving me with 6. And then if we were to shade E intersect B intersect S complement, we'd wind up with only region 4 shaded. We could do that if you want. 1, 4, and 7. Okay. Yeah. So 7 down here, they had bacon, but they didn't have eggs. And right here at the beginning, they had to have had eggs and bacon. They had to be in both of those sets, or we don't count. And then the last question is the easiest. How many had none of these things? Perfect. Very good. That's great. We're all good with that one. Joanna, Sergio, Aaliyah, Will, perfect. You're exactly right. It's just these 8 out here in region 8. All right. Do you have questions you want to ask about what we just did there? Okay. Up next, I'm going to let you try one, a 3-set Venn problem, start to finish. 100 people were surveyed about the types of music they like. 52 like rock, 28 like country, 30 like jazz, 10 like rock and country, 5 like rock and jazz, 3 like country and jazz, and 1 likes all 3 types of music. Don't think about this question yet. We'll get there. The first thing I want you to do is draw the diagram. I am going to put up a poll for answering that question. First, I want you to try to do this start to finish, soup to nuts, with draw the 3-set Venn diagram, put all the numbers in the regions, and then answer that question. If you struggle drawing the diagram, we will do a couple of more questions after this with this same picture. But for this one, I want you to just try the whole thing, start to finish. I'll make a poll for it. I'll give you plenty of time. I understand that this takes a little time to do. Like I said, I'll leave this poll up for a while. While you're working on this, if you get an answer that's not there, pick the one that's closest to yours. That way I'll know you've had enough time. And as you're drawing the diagram here, make sure you start in the intersection of all 3 sets and then work your way out from there. So we're starting in the intersection of all 3, then the intersections of 2, And then finally, those last three regions inside the circles, and then finish it with region 8 that's outside the circles but inside the universal set. No rush. Take your time. Keep working on it. And then the other thing I did want to mention is if drawing the diagram is still a little challenging or you're not that comfortable with it yet, but answering the questions goes well, we're going to use this same diagram. You'll be given the diagram to answer a couple of questions. I do want you to be able to do one start to finish like this, but if you're not there yet, that's okay. You'll get more practice in the homework problems. And you'll get a chance to practice answering questions after we get this diagram all drawn. Then we're going to use it. I'll probably be more patient on this one than I have been on your typical poll, just because I want everyone to have a chance to draw it. I don't want to rush through it, and we don't have a ton left. Drawing a diagram, putting the numbers in, answering questions, that's kind of what today is. We did the 2-set Venn diagrams. Now we're working on the 3s, and there's only one other idea that I want to hit after that. So we can be real patient on this one. Oh, sure thing, Stephen. Yeah, the possible answers were 77, 5, 65, and 61. I'm thinking we'll go another 45 seconds. If anybody needs more time, it's okay to ask for it. Oh, very good, Stephen. Okay, awesome. That's perfect. Anytime you find your own mistakes, that's the best. Okay, from start to finish on this one, let's see how it went. Okay, lots of 77s, lots of 5s, a couple of the others. We are spread around every one of these. So we'll take some time, and make sure that we get this picture drawn and then address the question appropriately. All right. 100 people were surveyed about the types of music they like. 52 like rock, 28 like country, and 30 like jazz. So those are going to be our 3 circles. You don't have to put them in this order, but I'm going to go ahead and put rock here, country here, and jazz down there. So there's going to be my 3-circle diagram. Now we're going to start filling in the numbers. And when we do that, it's kind of nice that the way the information is given to us lets us know, just work backwards through here, because one person likes all 3 types. So we're going to put one person there in region 5. Okay, continuing to go backwards, 3 like country and jazz. Well, country and jazz, that's where does country overlap jazz? Okay, so that's in that football shaped region there in the bottom right. That's going to be these two regions right here. That's the overlap of country and jazz, the intersection of those. And according to this, I need 3 people in there, but I already have 1. So I'm not going to put a 3 into region 6. I'm going to put a 2 because I already have 1 in there. I need a total of 3, so 2 more go in. That is the main idea with putting these numbers in the regions. If you have any trouble with that, let me know and we'll get that cleared up. Continuing backwards, 5 like rock and jazz. So we do the same thing. We look for where do rock and jazz overlap, the intersection of rock and jazz, that's over there. And so in that football-shaped region, we need to have a total of 5 people. Well, so far we have 1, so we need 4 more. Now we have 5 people in the overlap of rock and jazz. 10 like rock and country. Okay, well, rock and country, those two are going to overlap right here. And so I need a total of 10 people in there. I already have 1, so that means I put 9 more into that overlap. All right, not that many regions left. We're doing pretty good here. I'm told that 30 like jazz, and what that means is inside this entire jazz circle, I need 30 people. Well, so far I have, let's see, 4 plus 1 plus 2. So far I have 7. In order to get to 30, I'm going to need 23 people down here in region 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Region 7 gets 23 people. All right. Let's see. I'm told that 28 like country. So that means that inside this country circle, I need 28 people total. I'm not going to just put 28 right there because then I would have too many. I'm going to figure out how many I need in there in region 3 to give me 28 in the country circle. Looks like I have 9 and 1 is 10. I have 12 so far. So I guess that means I need 16 more to get me to 28. All right, region 1, 52 like rock. So that means inside that R circle, I need 52 people. So far I have 9 plus 1 plus 4. I have 14. So to get to 52, I'm going to need 38 more, and they go into region 1. If any of those numbers don't make sense, let me know. We still have 1 more number to do. And that's 100 people were surveyed, so I need 100 on the whole diagram. So far, I have 38 plus 9 plus 16 plus 4 plus 1 plus 2 plus 23. So far, I have 93. So in order to get to 100, I'm going to need 7 people out here in region 8. Let me know if you have any questions about how we built that diagram. We're going to use this same diagram to answer a few questions. The first of those questions is how many like rock or jazz, our poll question. And so or is the key word here. Remember, or is when we do union, we're looking for the elements that are in at least one of those 2 sets. If they're in the rock circle, we keep them. If they're in the jazz circle, we keep them. This is rock or jazz, the union of those 2 sets. And so I need everybody in the rock circle joined with everybody in the jazz circle. I need to add all those together. 38 plus 9 plus 4 plus 1 plus 2 plus 23 is 77. That was our most popular answer, and that's really good. 5 was our second most popular answer, and 5 would be in here. And if the question had said rock and jazz and been rock intersection jazz, 5 would be the correct answer, but it wasn't. Big difference between the word and the word or. Or is join them together. So we want to take everybody who's in the rock circle and count them. We want to take anybody who's in the jazz circle and count them. So when we have union, or when we have the word or, we're doing union, we're joining them together. Yeah, the difference between and or is really, really important. Any other questions about anything on that one before we use this same diagram to answer a couple more questions? Okay. Same diagram. Question is, how many like only country? I'll make a poll for this. Drawing the diagrams gets easier the more of them you do, and then answering the questions, as long as we're comfortable with and, or, but, and not, we should be okay with most of those. It takes a little practice, but they get a lot easier once you start doing them. We'll go another 30 seconds and then talk about this one. Let's see how we did. Okay, real strong agreement on this one. That's outstanding. Um, what I'll say is there's a big difference between how many like only country and how many like country. Those are different things. And this one says how many like only country. That means country and nothing else. So when we look inside our country circle, if the question said how many like country, we just add all them up. But only country means they don't like anything but country. Only country. Well, these people like rock, so we can't have that. They like rock and jazz, can't have them. They like jazz, can't have them. And so we end up with just the 16 people over there in region 3. That's what the word only points us towards. Word only is important in there because if it said how many like country, we'd add up everybody in the C circle. Since it said how many like only country, we have to throw out anybody who likes something else. All right, let's try another one. How many like country or jazz, but not rock? I'll set up a poll for this and let you try it. This one's got a lot going on here. Here again, the meanings of the words or and but are really important. The word not is in there. That's important too. If you see one that's, if your answer is not one of those choices, it's okay to pick the one closest to yours, and that way I'll know you've had enough time. Another 20 seconds and then talk through it. If you want more time, it's okay to let me know. See how we did on this one? Not unanimous, but really close. Okay, that's very good. All right, so let's take a look at what we have here then. What we're after is how many like country or jazz, but not rock. I'm going to take a little bit of a detour from answering this question just for a minute. This is country or union, jazz, but intersection, not rock. So our complement. Let's just pretend for a minute and do a little review here of shading from Monday. So if I have rock, country, and jazz, and I want to shade. I don't want to spend a ton of time reviewing Monday today, but a little bit is a good thing. So if I want to shade this, and I'm going to start, I don't have parentheses, I'm just going to go left to right. Country or jazz, the union of those two. The union of those two is I shade in country and I shade in jazz. And so there's country or jazz. That would be country or jazz, but I'm not done yet. Now I need to have this intersect with our complement. So I want to know, where does what I have now overlap with our complement? So I'm going to shade our complement the other direction, everything outside of R. And so what I end up with shaded here is regions 3, 6, and 7. That's where those overlap. C, union J, intersect R complement. Those are the things I want to count. And I kind of want to show how these two complement each other so well. How many like country or jazz, but not rock? Well, country or jazz. That means I want to count everybody inside the country circle. I also want to count everybody inside the jazz circle. I add those together. There's country or jazz. That's what I had shaded in purple over here in this one. Country or jazz, union of those two sets. Then comes in the other part of this, the but not rock, meaning I can't have people that like rock in this. So anybody who likes rock, anybody who's inside this R circle, I need to throw them out. Because if they like rock, I don't want to count them. And I end up with regions 3, 6, and 7 are the ones that I count. The same thing I ended up with in my picture over here if I were to shade it. So these two things complement each other. If you're really good at shading, you can use that to help you with these. If you're really good at these, that can help you with the shading. So they go together really well. I like the way that these two days work together. Finally, we'll answer the question here. 16 and 2, that's 18, and 23 is 41. How many like country or jazz but not rock? 41 of them do. Let me know if you have any questions on that. That's about as challenging as this can get. It has or and a complement in there, and we had to draw a 3-set picture. All right, very good. We're gonna go back to a 2-set picture for a minute, and you might be thinking, well, the 2-set ones, those are really easy. Well, let's see if I can take this one and make it a little more complex. 70 people in a bookstore were surveyed. 46 of them owned a best-selling book. Only 2 versions of the book were available. 37 owned the paperback, and 22 owned the electronic. So there's our 2 sets. We're kind of told it's 2 sets up here, but 37 people own the paperback, 22 own the electronic. So when we go to make our 2-set Venn diagram, we're going to have a paperback circle and we're going to have an electronic circle. And so there's our Venn diagram for this situation. Okay, I want to put some numbers in here so I can answer those questions, and I want to start in the intersection. I want to start in the overlap, and I look in the information I've been given, and it doesn't tell me how many are in the overlap. Nowhere in there does this one say how many people own the paperback and the electronic. That's what makes this one a little challenging. We'll only do this with 2 set diagrams, but let's talk through this a little bit. I'm told in here that 37 people own the paperback and 22 own the electronic. So maybe it's 37 over here and 22 over here and nobody in the overlap. That's certainly possible, probably not very likely. How am I going to figure out how many people are in the overlap? Does anybody see it in there? If you don't, it's totally fine. But I want to give somebody who might see, hey, wait a minute, I know what's happening, a chance to say it. If you don't, it's okay. But if you do, and you can sort of figure out how many people must be in region 2 here, 46 own the book. Very good, Austin. I'm following you so far. Yep, that's it. That's the road we need to take. What's out there in region 4 won't really come from there. 46 own the book. What that means is we need a total of 46 people that are 46 minus 37. Not quite, Kratina, but your subtraction is the right path. Subtraction is the right thing, and 46 is a part of it. There's only 46 that own it, so 13 own 2. Excellent, Madison. Excellent. And I'm going to give Laura a chance to finish what she's putting in there for us to see what that is. That's very good, Madison. You got it. No, Laura, Madison's got the right thing here. Let's see how Madison got there. So you're telling me that 37 own the paperback and 22 own the electronic. And I did this just sort of messing around. 37 own the paperback and 22 own the electronic. Well, just right there, just looking at what I have, 37 and 22, that's 59 people. But I can't have 59 people because only 46 of these people own the book. What that means is this information down here gave me 59 people, but there's only 46 that have the book. That means some of them got counted twice. And if we subtract 59 minus 46, we'll find out how many people got counted twice. 13 people got counted twice. And then so what we do is, now that we know that 13 people got counted twice, then that's where we say, okay, well, I'm going to take those 13 people and put them in the overlap. And now I'm going to finish my diagram. And when I finish my diagram, it says, okay, well, 22 own the electronic. I already have 13 in there, so I need 9 more. 37 own the paperback. I already have 13 in there, so I need, 24 over there? And then finally, to finish it off, oh, right. Okay, Laura, good. Yeah, the 37 and 22 added together gives us, according to this, 59 people own the book. But only 46 own the book, so 13 must have been counted twice. Yes, you did, Katrina. Subtracting was the right idea. Yep. Now we can make sure, after we put these in here, we can go back and read through this. I'm supposed to have, let's see, I'm supposed to have 37 in the paperback circle. Yep, I've got that. I'm supposed to have 22 in the electronic circle. I've got that. And I'm supposed to have 46 people that own the book. Let's see, 24 plus 13 plus 9. Sure enough, I have 46 people in the union of these two sets. 46 people own the book. So that fits all the conditions. I still need region 4, and there are 70 people in the bookstore. 46 of them own the book. So the people who aren't on my diagram yet, they just don't own the book. They're in the store, they don't own the book, and that's what 24 people go out here to get up to 70. The first question here said, how many own both versions? We've answered that. That was what we had to do up here when, okay, you're telling me if there's 59 people with the book, but you're also telling me there's only 46, so 13 must have been counted twice. The ones that are counted twice, that's what goes here in region 2. Then we can finish the diagram the way we always have. How many own both versions? That's the 13 people that are in region 2. And then that bottom question, how many owned only the electronic version? You can just type this in. We won't do a poll. How many owned only the electronic? Okay, very good. The 2 circle diagrams become really straightforward after we start working on those 3s. And you guys with the 9 is exactly right. How many owned only the electronic? Well, that means they own the electronic, but they did not own the paperback. That's the 9 people in region 3.